Hi guys, and welcome back to Maltbox, the non-chill filtered whiskey blog. I'm Andy and I'm back here today with another whiskey review. It's an English whiskey today. I will be trying to push as much English whiskey as I can going forward. I am a very big passionate fan of English whiskey and the English whiskey scene. It is thriving, it's fantastic to see. If you'd have told me 10 years ago that English whiskey would be as big as it is now and it would be as successful and welcomed as it is, I wouldn't have believed you. So the progress and the achievements that have been made in such a short space of time is really, really exciting. Now, the distillery that I'm going to be looking at today is the Spirit of Yorkshire Distillery. Their range goes under the name of Filey Bay. They are based up in Hunmanby, I think it probably is, up in Yorkshire. Now, I'm a Lancastrian, so I'm not even going to bother going down the whole Lancashire-Yorkshire route because at the end of the day, they're making good whiskey, do you know what I mean? Now, they have taken the approach of maturing the vast majority of their whiskey in ex-bourbon casks, which ticks a box for me straight away. I've already reviewed their Moscatel finish last year, or it might even have been in 2020. It was nice, don't get me wrong, it was a bit spicy, a bit heat in there from the Moscatel, it was very gingery. I'm going to dial it back a bit and I'm going to go for what could be seen arguably as their core bottling. Now, it's a no-age statement, yes, because it's quite young, it will be, they've not been going that long. However, it is non-chill filtered, it is natural colour, it's bottled at 46%, it's ex-bourbon matured, and it is this Filey Bay Flasghip. Yes, it is a sample bottle, guys. I will be moving back onto full-size, human-sized bottles pretty soon, don't worry. Now, I got this sample as part of a tweet tasting recently, so as always, just because this sample was provided does not mean it will be getting a favourable review as a result. I always like to say that, you know that. Now, hopefully you can see, but on there it does confirm, on the bottom of the label, non-chill filtered, natural colour, 46%. Now, obviously Flasghip, it's kind of a, well, it says it all, doesn't it, really? This is their flagship whiskey. This is their kind of default style going forwards, I think. And, you know, very, very lovely team up there. Joe, the head distiller, is a really nice guy that I know from old. Really, really sound bloke. Yorkshire seems to have quite a lot of distilleries, actually, in the English whiskey scene. We've got Filey Bay, Spirit of Yorkshire. We've got Cooper King. We have, is that it? Oh my god, maybe that is it. I don't know. No, I think there's a couple of others that I can't remember off the top of my head right now. But ultimately, it's more than Lancashire I've got, which is one, which is Bank Hall up in Blackpool. And they're sort of, interestingly, I will be reviewing a Bank Hall, but they've kind of gone the other way. And I will come back to Spirit of Yorkshire. I'm just letting that open up. What Bank Hall have done interestingly over in Blackpool is rather than make gin, which is what a lot of English distilleries did at the start, a lot of Scottish distilleries do that as well, new start-up Scotch distilleries, they make gin. Do you know why they make gin? Because it's easy to make. A lot of neutral grain spirit can be bought in very cheaply, and you can add botanicals in it, redistill it, bang, you've got your gin. You don't need to mature it. It doesn't have an initial outlay as big as Scotch, because you've as whiskey, sorry, slip of the tongue, Freudian slip, because you've got to sit on that for 3 years before you get any return from it at the end of the day. Whereas gin, boom, done, out the door. Let's sell some gin. I'm not a big gin drinker. I tend to use it in Negronis and things like that. And for me, it has to be a very traditional juniper forward gin. I can't be doing with flavoured gins because at that point it's just flavoured vodka. Bank Hall have gone the other way to making gin. What they've done is they've made young spirit, don't get me wrong, but it is an American style young spirit. They make a sour mash, so it is still matured for a few months, but they're making basically American style whiskies in Blackpool. And it's owned by Halewood Group. They're selling them off very cheaply. It's like 25 quid a bottle, which for an inaugural batch of bottlings, it's still whiskey at the end of the day. Don't get me wrong, you know, it's, well, you could argue with the New English Whiskey Guild, they'll probably chop that off at the head and start making them call it a spirit drink or something like that, because it's not 3 years, because it is going to follow quite a lot of Scotch patterns, to be honest. But I thought it was really cool that they're doing that, like something off the normal, off the beaten track sort of thing. Let's do an American style spirit instead of just doing gin. Thank God. Right, so that's Filey Bay. So got really nice light golden colour in the glass there. I'd love to be able to tell you which bourbon cask these come from. I can't remember. I did know which distillery they sourced them from, and I can't remember, so I do apologise, guys. But ultimately, really nice light golden colour. Again, ex-bourbon maturation is my preferred style, so I'm probably going to lean into this quite well. On the nose, I said at the start, it's no age statement. It is going to be quite young spirit. It's going to be 4 years and under, realistically, because that's how long they've been going, 4 or 5 years now. And there is that little prickle at the start. Don't get me wrong, I've been warming this up as I've been talking. There is a little bit of a prickle, a little bit of heat. However, as soon as that's gone, you're into this lovely exotic fruit. We've got mango, we've got vanilla, some very atypical bourbon cask maturation notes. Now we're into vanillas, we're into spices, we're into brown sugar, we're into a little bit of cherry maybe, something like that. But I think the standout is it is fruity. It's lovely and fruity. We've got kind of like a lemony thing going on, a lot of lemon citrus in there. The bourbon-esque flavours that I've already mentioned with vanillas, etc. We've kind of got a bit pineapple maybe, like tinned pineapple. Really, really nice. That is right up my street, to be honest with you. It's young, you can tell it's young. I think I find it quite easy to look past its age. The English whisky scene, the oldest English whisky distillery currently in existence is St George's down in Norfolk, who I think started distilling back in 2009 off the top of my head. So they now can release, and they have released some single casks that are 13 years old, which is amazing. It's fantastic. They release an official bottling of the 11-year-old. But apart from that, you've not got too many distilleries that have been producing whiskey for that long, so you're bound to have youthful spirit. And I think it's just about embracing that, still identifying flavours, still enjoying it and appreciating it for what it is. Now, on the palate, good mouthfeel. On the palate, still a bit of spice in there. We've got some almost Chardonnay, grape and oak mixed together. Vanillas, the spiciness, there's black pepper. For me, in a way, and please don't mock me for this, it very, very much reminds me, towards the end of the dram, or middle to end, of an unpeated Caolila, in the sense that it's very lemony. It's almost waxy in quality. It's got a bit of sea salty, ozone-y, sea spray kind of thing going on. And in the finish is very long. It's very warming. Grapefruit is kind of the more citrus stuff going on that isn't lemon now. It's maybe a little bit tart, maybe a little bit more acidic, you could say, but with that underlying fruitiness. Biscuity. That black pepper's back. A little bit of heat right in the throat. Right in the throat. Just doing a yodel there. It's nice. It's very nice. Now, this retails, I believe, at around 50 quid. So, yes, it is a little bit pricey. However, a lot of English whiskey is around that price point. I think the best value for money, in my opinion, I know this is a Filey Bay Spirit of Yorkshire review, but the most consistent value for money and more readily available whiskey that you can get from England at the minute, apart from the English original and smoky and stuff like that, is Cotswolds Odyssey Barley. It's still small batch, only a few thousand bottles per batch, but I find it in supermarkets near me, in booths, for example. It's on offer quite a lot. You can pick it up at retail for 45 quid. This is a little bit different in the sense that Spirit of Yorkshire haven't been distilling as long as, say, Cotswolds as an example. They've got more immature stock. They have smaller amount of stock as well. They don't have as big a capacity in terms of distillation as competitors, or, well, not competitors in a sense, but such as other distilleries, such as Cotswolds. I'm just going to go back to this one last time. Oh, yeah, that nose is lovely. I think the second time around on the palate, it's much more open. Yes, there's that lemon citrus and the grapefruit I mentioned before. I think there's some green apple in there. It softens it a little bit. There's a bit of vanilla custard rather than just pure vanilla extract or something like that. Really nice dram. Ultimately, guys, in summary, it's sweet, a little bit spicy, a tad warm, very fresh. Very enjoyable. I think now the weather's warming up, although I say that, it's peeing it down outside and it's freezing when I'm recording this review. We're in the end of May. What hell's going on there? This is very much a kind of outdoor summer evening kind of dram. Really is. So I'm going to box it off now, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Appreciate it. If you want to subscribe, feel free. If you don't, fair play. I'm on Instagram at maltboxwhisky, maltboxwhisky.com. Thanks for watching. See you soon.